I seen something that made I wasn't gonna speak on it, but I said fuck it. For one, I'm a grown ass man. Number two, I own my house that I'm talking my shit in, popping my shit in. And number three, ain't no man putting no money in my pocket. I put my money in my own pocket. You heard me? So I'ma speak on it. Part of the reason why black people been down for so fucking long, bad leadership, bro. Like, let's talk about one thing specific. I'm gonna talk about because I tell people all the time in this journey to my Father, my Savior, my Christ. Freaking, I went through different religion sects or whatever. So I went to the Kingdom Hall, and it's a beautiful story behind that. I'll probably tell that a little bit later, but I want to stay on par with the course. So one of the most peaceful times, or one of the most peaceful people I ever met, right? I didn't know if this dude was a cop. I was going through. I used to be a protester. I used to be out there protesting. Like, I never bought into that religious shit because bitches would preach that Allah shit, preach that other shit, and bitches be phony as fuck. Bitch suck dick behind the scenes, etc., etc. You did, like, it's a couple leaders of that nation that I believe suck dick. Not even gonna say a couple. I'm gonna say one particular. I look at the nigga mannerisms. I look at the way the nigga speak. He could try to look like Malcolm X and shit, but these niggas be like gay as fuck. I'm just being honest. And so, but the point is though, um, I was sitting and this guy, this Muslim guy came. He convinced me to go to the mosque because he had so much peace. I never met a person with that much peace. You did what I'm saying? He had done seen me at a rally, and I was talking. And you know one thing about these rallies and whatnot. I think it was like a Dream Defenders rally. Um, all kind of people came out because we all, as black people, trying to figure out our liberation. How do we cultivate ourselves, how we educate ourselves and whatnot. And so, you know, he seen me. And so he stepped to me after that. I don't know how he even end up remembering me. But point is, my words were so vile. My tongue was pretty much what it is now, but more, I guess, less trained. So it was just like, I was taking like subtle jabs at him. Like, bro, what can you tell me? You know, like, I'm like, bro, I'm not interested in going to no mosque because Elijah Muhammad left such a bad taste in my fucking mouth. I don't respect nobody that touch kids. You feel me? And Elijah Muhammad was a fucking child molester. You cannot tell me that you gonna get behind the man and everything you do, oh, praise be to the honorable. No, fucking child molester. At some point, you gotta say Malcolm X or my favorite guy, Khalid Muhammad. At some point, you gotta get a real man who fucking put that shit on the map. The soldiers. You can't give a nigga like, okay, yeah, he might have brought it to the world's attention, but this nigga was fucking little girls. He was a fraud. Let's call it. Elijah Muhammad was the common day Dr. Umar. You feel me? And so my big thing was, it was like, but I went to the mosque though. This guy convinced me because this one particular guy, I tried to tell him. I said, bro, you got a peace in you I'm so jealous of, bro, because I ain't never seen a man with such peace. And so he convinced me to come to the mosque, and I went like every weekend for a little bit. And I like there's certain things they did. They had food programs. They didn't force you to do no offering, sort of like Jehovah Witness Church Kingdom Hall or whatever. They taught me about gender benders and estrogen. That was one of their main things. But it used to be kind of like a weird kind of thing because before they own pastor or whatever you want to call it led the sermon, is you'll be looking at like a TV screen from where they be hosting the main thing. But this is my point I want to make. Freaking black people been held down because we got these fake ass leaders. We ain't had no real leader in a long time. Our real leaders get killed. You're not a real leader if a bitch ain't trying to knock your head off. Once you get to a certain level and you can reach go national, then you can start judging who is the real leader. Because if you get national syndication or people know you nationally, and you ain't causing no waves, nigga, you just a talker. Like a lot of these fuck niggas, like they first of all, they gotta get their own look. Let's just call it like that. Like, I'm tired of seeing niggas that look like Malcolm X. Like, all you niggas, it's only one Malcolm X. God damn, you niggas gotta get the same fucking look, same fucking try to do his aura. Be yourself, dog. It's only one Tupac. You feel me? Be yourself. So it's my thing is it's sad because you got a bunch of guys who slightly educated or they miseducated rather. So they so indoctrinated into a miseducation that they can say these great words like I got a great vernacular and shit. And so I can expand my vocabulary and say some big shit. But then what am I talking about? Am I talking in a circle or am I actually making a point? And then a lot of these guys, they got the wave behind them because it's a powerful what Nation of Islam, nigga. That shit ain't no walk through the park, bitch. That shit is an actual organization that's been around. But you gotta look at the roots and you gotta denounce certain things. You gotta That's how you get respect from people. You get respect because hold on one second. I'm learning something real quick. Hold on real quick. Uh, there we go. Yeah, so what I'm learning is it's a matter of the way you get respect is you gotta make amendments. Sort of like we be asking in our as Americans, we say, okay, the Constitution might have said every man is equal, but we know that's not how it played out for people. Well, the same thing with the nation and all these other black cultural things is we gotta say, okay, the leader was a fucking child molester. That shit, like child molesters. Listen, if we in 2025, child molesters getting called out. You feel me? Have you heard of the magical steel? And then another thing we gotta speak on, and Khalid Muhammad pretty much got killed on it. He hit one of Khalid Muhammad's last speeches was the secret relationship between Jews and Muslims. Same way Jewish, a lot of people, black people don't know, Jewish people started the NAACP. So, like, nigga, how you gonna be in an organization started by the so-called ops and then out here preaching this shit on each corner? You gotta educate yourself. And then don't let me I'm gonna tell you black folks this, man. Don't listen to no nigga, no matter how many glasses a nigga wear, suits a nigga wear, bean pies a nigga sell. Fucking, if a nigga try to shut you up or quiet you, you know what I'm saying? Then he's a clown. You feel me? If a nigga try to say, man, you shouldn't be speaking, you shouldn't be talking. Well, fuck nigga, what are you doing? You're talking. How do you get the message across to tell a nigga not to talk other than to talk? You feel me? And then a lot of these guys, they be so out of pocket. What I mean by that is you gotta like that's why I don't fake the bobo when I do my prayers to my father, my Lord. I curse in my prayers because he see me cursing. I get to have a real conversation. See, I spoke about this yesterday. The fear of your God. That's where faith starts at. Faith starts in believing, but it also starts with fear. If you don't fear nothing, then what the hell? Now you shouldn't fear no man because it tell you that. But you should definitely fear your God. But you shouldn't be shy in how you speak to your God. And if your God touch your heart to speak on something, let another man tell you, hey man, be quiet. Man, pussy nigga, shut your ass up. Find you a real, start your own religion. If you can't learn about your own religion and get deep into it, then you need to follow. Like that's what my whole thing is. Like I thought about it tonight because I was going through some videos and I said, man, this dude, that was my biggest thing when I was at the mosque. I thought it was beautiful people. I thought it was a great movement, but I just couldn't get behind every fucking time they say the honorable, like they act like this nigga was Jesus. They act like he Muhammad, like he was the fucking prophet, the actual prophet Muhammad. And so it's like, yo, cuz you niggas is idolizing another man. And not only if you're gonna idolize a man, idolize Malcolm X. He should be the fucking head. How you gonna tell me a grown ass man who hated on his protege coming up under him? You feel me? You hate how you do that? Where they do that at? And it ain't just Malcolm, and it wasn't Malcolm X. Like I said, it was Khalid Muhammad. Khalid Muhammad was this man was the perfect right hand man to me. You just like you got Louis Toussaint who freed France and all that, fought against France and all that. He had a right hand man called Jean Jacques. You should look him up, Jean Jacques. Jean Jacques was the perfect right hand man. You need a right hand man that's gonna hold it down, that's gonna go to bat for you. So Khalid Muhammad was the perfect foot soldier. And what the fuck did they do? They shitted on that man. They alienated that man. They got this thing where they can mute you and tell you don't be quiet. See, that's the fuck problem right there. Them niggas got muting each other, and then they think they can mute non niggas that don't believe in that shit. You crazy as fuck, nigga. You niggas out your mind. If you let another man tell you to be quiet or hush up on some shit, bitch, I ain't shutting up on shit. I'm a grown ass nigga, bitch. What the fuck, nigga? Which I grew up in the hood, dodging fucking bullets like the rest of the niggas that grew up in the fucking hood. So what the hell? I'ma let another nigga square ass nigga tell me what to do. Let me start reading these comments. And I just wanted to say that real quick. That man, you niggas before you niggas start trying to get out there in the world and try to get in other lanes and shit. Cause I see these niggas trying to get in other lanes to try to get noticed or seen or whatever. You niggas should come correct. Don't try to tell no grown ass real nigga with a real life story, been through a real life, been out there protesting. I done been through it all, nigga. I'm talking about I don't one thing for sure, two things for certain. Shout out to my old girl, my mama. My mama used to park around the corner when I used to go protest because I used to get harassed by police when I protest. And I always went out there on my own agenda. I just found the speech. I was so proud of it. Me with Dream Defenders. And I'm holding court to hundreds of people talking on stage. And my thing was, I said, man, look at this. They wanted me to join, but I was like, I be cautious about joining groups and different things like that because you don't know who at the top. Like I said, Jews started the NAACP, the secret relationship between Jews and Muslims, etc., etc. Fard, I forgot his first name. This guy was part of the Klan and shit, meeting with the damn heads. So come on, cuz, like, niggas gotta really get their history together before they try to get out there and step out into lanes that they don't have a clue about. You feel me? Like, one thing for sure, I feel like I don't feel like it, I know I can resonate with real street dudes that live the real life and I could talk that talk because I done been through it. You did. Let me see. Yo, what's some nice I could say to my girl? Oh, it is that time of night where these folks come out. So let me just entertain the foolishness now, cause I done said what I need to say on that part. I'm done with that. Say so. We got Salty Panther. He said, "Yo, what's nice? What's some nice thing I can say to my girl? I got no Riz, and I suppose Riz is game. Um, Something you can say nice to your girl. Well, if you got her, you already got her. You don't need to say nothing nice. Tell her you love her if you love her. You feel me? And if you don't, tell her you love her. You feel me? And then it say, good God, why black screen? Why not? Why not? So a nosy bitch can't be all up in my game room. That part. But that's your answer. Let me see what else. Captain of a starship. The world isn't what we think. I told a hood dude that dusty demons run the gangs in my city, spreading dust. You better pop your shit. But he said, I'm bringing negative energy. That's how we know the forces behind these things. That part. And see, I said it like this, right? You look at the old school movies, right? The old school drug dealers. Freaking, I ran a nigga off one time, right? Because he was next to my people house with the shit. And I like, bro, I'm not even no hating ass nigga, but bro, you got traffic all times of the fucking night, and then my old girl can't sleep. Not only she can't sleep, the old neighbors, the old ladies don't be saying shit, cause half the time be their grandkids. But when it ain't their grandkids, they just be old and just be trying to like mind their business. Like perfect example, a nigga passed my crib today. And the nigga just threw out a whole plate of some shit. Now, he ain't throw it in front of my shit. Or I gotta get better as a person and more mature because I would have been on that nigga ass. But my thing is, it littered up several fucking neighbors' yard. So what I do, I jump right into action, grabbed me a plastic bag, and went picking that shit up out their yard. Not just my yard, but their yard. That's what a neighbor does, bro. That's what community is. You feel me? So I say that to say, back to the point though, because this old ladies wouldn't have probably said nothing. They just would have just went ahead and got it up at some other time or just let it be in their yard. So I stood up to Bob. I say, man, listen, fam, you only profit yourself. You bring down the value. That's the first thing they do with gentrification. They let these niggas sell. First of all, a lot of these niggas be selling dope for law enforcement. Let's just call it like that. Same way the real Rick Ross used to push dope for the CIA and shit like that. Fucking this shit on a local scale where niggas be selling. Like a nigga told me one time, he said, bro, that nigga who you going at it with, because I was going at it. The nigga dead now, but he didn't die at my hands, let's put it like that. But he was like, that nigga you going at it with, he said, man, that nigga keep the chief of police card in his fucking wallet. This is a drug deal. I watched him do a fake bust on this nigga house where the nigga used to keep his dope in the van outside. And then they act like they did all the works, and, acting like they raiding the house. They left the van alone, and this nigga came pick this van up 2 minutes after the fucking SWAT left. I said, look at this fuck shit, bro. So I say that to say, though, it brings down community value. Then they come in and buy the property up dirt fucking cheap. And only then, you start seeing active patrol. See, this how this shit go. Like, every fucking town, even the worst, poorest cities, got law enforcement that do their job. But they tell them that's what it's called detail. They tell them, you do detail over here, and you make sure these motherfuckers is safe. Because, like, a person, matter of fact, let's go back to the genesis of this conversation when I talked to the Muslim guy who convinced me to go to the mosque one time. He the first person that put me on. He said, you know what the police stand for? And I thought he was a cop the way all the information he was dropping. I said, well, he said policy. He said, they're not here to protect you. They're here to protect the business, nigga. He said, look around you. He said, when Dixie round the corner, Walmart round the corner. He said, who the you think they here to protect you in the neighborhood? No, nigga, they here to protect property, nigga. Property that produces and make money. That's why when you see motherfuckers go to riot and shit, they make sure they come out in full force to these and protect these big corporations that's in your community, nigga. They ain't here to protect you, nigga. You just a society like of that. You a byproduct, meaning that if I happen to protect you, yeah, nigga, that's through the course of my job. But my main detail that I'm here for is protecting the business. And this is what a Muslim guy had done told me. So I say that to say the process of gentrification is they let these motherfucking local gang niggas and this and that, they let them kill each other. Like Tupac said, sit back, let them kill each other. You feel me? They not, if that problem comes spread in their neighborhood, they pull out the big long guns and show them niggas what's really popping. You feel me? So what it is, Flight Boy, cool and you did what I'm saying. I had to do me a little I got motivated because I seen a nigga talking crazy trying to suppress the black movement in the sense of us being vocal. A nigga that's probably, I ain't gonna say his name, giving no praise or whatnot, but I'm just simply saying that it's a nigga that might be respected in certain corners and avenues, and this nigga was just talking out his neck because he won't even call. If you can't call Muhammad or Elijah Muhammad a fucking child molester, you don't get no respect. If you want respect from me, you gotta first call out this nigga to be a child molester. We don't condone in no man touching on little girls. We don't condone in no cults. We don't condone in none of that foolish shit of you using religion to try. Cause one thing about it is most people run to religion when they at their lowest point. That's the natural sentiment that people would do. Like when you at your lowest point, you trying to find God. We all have been at that point in life where, and most of us still there. We always there for the rest of our life. We searching for God. We seeking God. And so I say that to say, freaking, it remind me of the song Tamala Man song, "Take Me to the King," and she said, "We chasing after you. We literally chasing after you." And so, in trying to seek God, you don't catch a person at their lowest point in life, and then you try to stick a dick in them. Like that's some foolish shit. You did what I'm saying? And so, if a nigga ain't gonna never call him out, Elijah Muhammad, for being a child molester, a nigga can't. I'm not interested in what a nigga got to say, but you can know the damn. You can know you could be the smartest nigga with the highest IQ. Bitch, you got a low IQ if you fall a child molester, in my opinion. Um, Let me see what else. Yo said, can you play Bloodhound Legit? I never heard of that before. Exactly, that shit ain't right. And God is number one. You get what I'm saying, Flight Boy? Like, dog. And that's the part where I say black people has been led to astray, bro, because niggas be in their organizations. And guess what? When I was going to the mosque and shit like that, you think I could have said that in front of all them niggas? Nigga lost their fucking mind because them niggas is idolizing another man instead of actually looking at the program. Nobody bigger than the program. That's what it's supposed to be. But apparently them niggas got it twisted and they put a man over the program. It's supposed to be nobody bigger than the program, but niggas really was idolizing a child molester, bro. So I don't take what I don't give a nigga no credibility. And then when a nigga try to tell you to be quiet or like, I almost want to say the nigga name because when he was talking about a nigga that I don't care for. But I felt like he was trying to generalize it and say, man, niggas just be, man, cuz you so out of pocket and out your lane, bro. Find something to do, my boy. Like, you need to really find yourself because you got female tendencies. And like, I'll be the first one to tell a person right now, I go off of numbers and mathematical equation. The ratio says that if such and such out of such and such is gay, then I don't give a fuck whether it's Christianity, Islam, or any other religion. Bitch, it's niggas that's gay in that shit. And you demonstrate fucking gay fucking shit. I tell a bitch quit. Bitch, I had a gay roommate. So clearly I know what the fuck a gay motherfucker be moving like. Bitch, and you remind me of that nigga. You feel me? This was my dog too, but I'll just have to say that. You remind me of that nigga. You show your femininity even when you trying to be masculine. So you can't disguise that shit through no religion, my boy. I'ma just put it like that. You feel me? And so, but yeah, all in all though, bro, I had to go online and speak on like, man, y'all black people don't never let a person discourage you in what you do or let a bitch tell you, oh man, these content creators is getting out of hand. Well, what the fuck you on camera for then, bro? Why you on camera? Make your own point. Get the fuck off camera and do the work in the streets. Be the one like the you know, I always support. I always buy me a final call. I always buy a final call when people come with the Watchtower Jehovah Witness, which I ain't seen that now Jehovah Witness in Georgia. I don't know where the hell they at, but freaking in Florida when they used to come to my crib, nigga, I entertain them because I love talking about God. I can talk about God all day. So like they used to know me. They'll skip past my house. I'm not even trying to be funny because freaking they know I'm gonna talk your ass to death. You wanna come talk about God? I'm gonna listen, and then you gonna listen to what I got to say. And my opinion gonna probably differ from yours, but let's get some understanding. You feel me? That's what college was: differing opinions and people educating and sharpening each other's brains. You feel me? So I'm always willing to entertain a conversation in which we can learn from each other. Yeah, people need to stop being too damn. That's what it is. You did what I'm saying? It's like the guy, he was sensitive, bro, because you gotta understand, he's when you raised in a culture, bro, right? Like angry. That's why you think about what's short for culture. If you took the off, what it is, cult, CULT. You can't spell culture without cult. So, but the thing is, when you're raised in a culture that idolizes one single man, and this man history is just fucked up. He's an R. Kelly, worse than R. Kelly, because he actually had a whole congregation and he impregnating all these women. Even when that shit came out, that's something you can't deny. You could deny molesting the bitch, but when a bitch actually carrying your child as proof, nigga, the jig is up. Nigga, so you can't then start to bring in, you could say, you know what, he brought this great movement and we got to carry forth this movement. We got to take it to the next level, but we finna erase this nigga out of our history. You could do that. But for niggas to not do that and constantly acknowledge him every damn prayer, every sermon, it's just very frustrating. It's like, cuz, what am I worshiping? Especially if you're raising a child or daughter, you're going to be like, how the hell are we going to get behind this shit? And then I'm supposed to tell my daughter, that's the honorable child molester right there. You better, that shit goofy shit. And it ain't just that. I said that because I seen somebody in the comments on the video I was watching. They was like, name a better organization. Me personally, I always was a big fan of the Black Panther political party because I let people know it was a political party. It wasn't no damn, like, people think the Black Panther was just a movement. No, they was the first person that's realized this Democrat and Republican shit ain't working for us. They said, you know what, we need our own. They understood that it was power in politics. So they say, you know what, man, we going to get into politics. We going to have our own campaigns we going to fund, and we going to get into the community. So not only do they do community work, but they also understood the political forum. So there ain't nobody came along greater. And if you could tell me if somebody did come along greater, why they didn't get assassinated? Because if I'm not mistaken, they assassinated Fred Hampton. I think Geronimo Pratt either went to prison or got assassinated, and Huey P got assassinated in the street, even though some people will try to argue, say he was on drugs by that time and whatnot. But at the same time, they carefully, Bobby Seals, they carefully orchestrated against these people. And then somebody, even if I wasn't to say Black Panther Party, I'm going to just make this the final thing. Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had the greatest damn plan. He was the first coming of all of that shit. Because Marcus Garvey was the first person to realize ports, meaning that he understood GDP, gross domestic product. He said, if we can control the ports, because we pretty black people, I can go show you all my little port IDs. Fucking plenty of black people work on ports from top of the East Coast to the bottom of the East Coast, and I would imagine on the West. I ain't never been on a West Coast port. But my point is, Marcus Garvey started buying ships. He wanted to buy ships so he said, if we could do our own trading with Africa, we ain't got to worry about buying a product once it get to America. Like, it's one thing to have your own business in America, but it's another thing to have your own connect across seas where you getting it directly from. So what did they do? They used to have what they call Bureau of Investigations, which later became the FBI. The F stand for federal. But before they was federal, they were just Bureau of Investigations. I would suggest to people to look up the movie about J. Edgar Hoover. It's a hell of a movie. But he dedicated his life. He started out his whole mission before taking down Martin Luther King was to take down Marcus Garvey. And the only reason the Bureau of Investigation got federally funded was to take down Marcus Garvey. Like, we always had these ploys us, but we don't understand the history of how certain things started. So what they did was they infiltrated his group. They went and sat in at the meetings, similar like if you look at the Malcolm X bitch sitting in at the meetings. They made sure that they made sure a black person killed Malcolm. I don't want to get off subject. Let me stay on point though. So the bitch will sit amongst the meetings and do like shout out to you, flight boy, and all that. But a bitch will do just like in this room. That's why a bitch say, cut on the light. Cut on, man, for what? Pussy. You either get with the program or you don't. But my whole point is a bitch will come sit up there and listen to all your shit. And then out there go report that shit back to their master. Oh, this is what he said. This was going on. They always gonna keep an ear close to the ground. So what they did was they found out his plans to buy ships, and then they had him buy these because Marcus Garvey had something where if you send like a penny or whatever, 10 cent, you get a part ownership in it, and it was like a receipt. So point is, he bought some fucked up ships, and then they was the first ones to come out and be like, mind you, they sabotaged them. They got a guy get close enough to him and as an advisor and told him what ships to buy, and then he bought some bad ships. And so then they was like, look, this guy's a fraud. That's the first thing they want to do is tear you down and show you as a fraud. You feel me? Now, some niggas do be fraud. Like this Umar, this guy's a whole fucking clown. But freaking, most people will have a legit and genuine state of where they coming from. And so that's what Marcus Garvey did, and that's how the FBI started. And he had a great plan for us, but he just never got to carry it out. Just like most leaders, they didn't have to assassinate him. He went into political exile. But at the same, most of our leaders that don't go in exile and shit, they just get rid of them. So we be led astray by a bunch of false prophets and false niggas that look the part or try to look the part and play the part. But these niggas ain't living right. They on this. I always made sure I saw life. Shout out to therapists and shout out to God, nigga. I always when they personally attacked when and shout out to my dogs in the sense that when I heard this guy say be quiet talking that was one. But freaking it's just this is I think to me black people need about some being black. Look at this young leader, Ibrahim Traore for Burkina Faso. You feel me? That's the new leader. That's the guy that like to me, nigga, Malcolm X mixed with all the other great leaders. Nigga, this man is one of one. We ain't gonna never see nobody like that. You know how they got the saying the young kids say protect at all costs? Protect Lil Bruh at all costs. Like, I'm standing on that. Like Lil Bruh could be the world leader if we ever was to have one. But we put it like that though, man. And God bless y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with me. Shout out my dog, Flight Boy. And we're gonna leave it at that part.